All right, today we're digging into the story of a platform that had this incredible, noble mission, but then kind of got lost along the way. Yeah, we're talking about the cautionary tale of Quora. You remember Quora, right? I mean, it was hailed as the internet's answer to intellectual curiosity. It was supposed to be the place where you could get real answers from actual experts. But, well, that utopian vision ran headfirst into the harsh realities of Silicon Valley: growth, scale, and that relentless pressure to make money. So the big question is, how does a platform with that much promise lose its way? To really get it, we've got to rewind and go all the way back to the very beginning. Okay, so picture this. It's 2009. Two ex-Facebook engineers, Adam D'Angelo and Charlie Cheever, decide to build a different kind of social network. One built on knowledge and expertise, not just, connections and status updates. And you know what? For a while, it was absolutely magical. I mean, you could ask a super nerdy question about astrophysics and get a detailed answer from an actual NASA scientist. You could ask about the early days of Apple and get a firsthand account from a former employee. We're talking big names, too. People like Jimmy Wales, even Barack Obama were on there weighing in. It honestly felt like the internet at its absolute best. And unsurprisingly, the world took notice. What started as this small, curated community for intellectuals and tech insiders, yeah, it quickly became a global phenomenon. Just look at this timeline. It really tells the story of that explosive growth. By 2014, it was already a unicorn, valued at nearly $1 billion. It expanded into new languages, started rolling out ads, and the user base just kept climbing, reaching an astounding 300 million monthly users by 2018. By 2019, Quora was on top of the world, with a valuation of $2 billion. It really seemed like nothing could stop its meteoric rise. But behind the scenes, the cracks were already starting to show. See, here's the problem with that kind of explosive growth. It's incredibly hard to control. And as Quora's user base just ballooned, so did the challenge of maintaining the very quality that had made it so special in the first place. And then came the data breach. Late 2018, the private information of 100 million users was exposed. For a platform built entirely on trust, this was a devastating blow. As the CEO himself admitted, the breach was a disaster. I mean, think about it. For a community that had trusted Quora with their personal information and their real identities, it felt like a betrayal. And this wasn't just a PR problem. Despite that massive user base and huge valuation, Quora was struggling to actually turn a profit. And that's a fact that you can bet investors were noticing. So, desperate to make money and keep growing, Quora started to prioritize engagement over quality, and that right there is when the platform really started to go downhill. And the change was dramatic. The platform that was once praised as a classier Reddit or an opinionated Wikipedia was now getting slammed for its junk questions and was even described as being in a state of thriving failure. Ouch. So what happened? Well, the experts who had built Quora's reputation, they fled the platform. They were replaced by this flood of low-quality content and clickbait questions. The site became a breeding ground for misinformation, and in some cases, even state-sponsored propaganda. So, with its original mission in tatters and its community totally disillusioned, Quora decided to bet the farm on a new technology: artificial intelligence. In 2023, Quora launched Poe, an AI-powered platform that represents a pretty radical departure from its original vision. With Poe, the human element is almost entirely gone. Instead of waiting for a real person to answer your question, you just get an instant response from an AI of your choice. And that right there is the fundamental trade-off. You get speed and convenience in exchange for human authenticity and nuance. And so that leaves us with a question that goes far beyond just Quora. In our relentless quest for instant information, are we sacrificing something far more valuable? Genuine human connection and real lived-in understanding? That's the question we all need to answer.